about, well, really about the disrespect that a lot of people are assuming is about the female artists of this kind of, they're having a disagreement, which is kind of common, I would assume, in rap. But we're gonna talk about it from the female version of rap side. This includes Nicki's remarks to Cardi and, Chloe Ray and other people, which we'll really get into. But let's just see where we go from here, and let's gradually talk about it.
This episode is brought to you by Snapple. Welcome to the Snapple Market Auditory Experience. Close your eyes. Imagine you're walking into your neighborhood store. You make your way to the back and reach for your favorite Snapple flavor. You can't wait. You take a sip. Whoa, that's a lot of flavor. What flavor are you holding? Now open your eyes and check out Snapple.com to find ridiculously flavorful Snapple near you.
So, as we have established, Nicki Minaj wins Video Vixen of the Year at the VMAs. She does a remix to one of her older classical songs, and people weren't very happy, particularly female rappers were not happy that she did it. And, we could argue that Nicki Minaj really only puts on a certain amount of people for rap, but I think this is a problem. I think the newer generation of rappers like Cardi B, Chloe Ray, Asian Doll have problems with this, and I think the issue kind of stems from the fact that when Nicki, I think Nicki's rationale is when Nicki was coming up in the game, there weren't really female artists trying to put her on, like Lil' Kim, Remy Ma. They weren't really doing songs together. Nicki kind of got her name out there with features like Rick Ross, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Drake, of course, that YMCMB group, Tyga, certain ways like that, and there weren't a lot of female rappers pushing Nicki Minaj's music out there, which, I think over time we do understand what was happening, but I don't think they understand. So she did a remix with Bia. She was very specific on the people that she did remixes with. The remix of her song, and there were rappers that weren't really happy about that. One of those rappers were, including Cardi B, Asian Doll. Right. Well, we're gonna talk about this. So, Nicki Minaj publicly said that she did a feature. She did a favor for somebody to co-sign somebody and make sure they got some notoriety from a feature. Many assume, correctly probably so, that it is Chloe Ray, because Chloe Ray is she Benzo's daughter, which that could be the correlation to what she's talking about, but that's also an assumption. And I think that's what people don't understand, that Chloe Ray is Benzo's daughter, so she has the connections to be put on tracks that are popular, which is why people argue that her album with a lot of features should have placed higher. Now they didn't, and we saw the overall first week sales, which, depending on how you expected it to go, was either too bad or too good, or better. I think that's the issue now. Cardi B, now there's an issue, I think, that people assume, and rightfully so. I think we've had people before write for other female artists, and I think that people believe that Cardi B falls into that category. And if it's true, I think there are some people that said publicly that Cardi B says she doesn't write most of her lyrics, which is a weird thing to say because we've heard from other sources that Safari wrote something for some other people, and then other male rappers wrote some female rappers, which we can understand because in hip hop and strictly hip hop, they don't like. There's a majority group of people that don't listen to female rap because they say female raps don't really bring anything to it. And I've had the honor of talking to people that are like that, and they say that it's just not entertaining enough like the guys that rap in hip hop. So I understand that kind of persuasion of it, and I think the reason why Nicki doesn't want to do or give somebody a feature or highlight female artists is because she didn't do it. She didn't get it. So I think 2 or 3 years in, she feels like, why do I have to do it when I'm at my highest stage, when the Little Kims, Remy Ma, Mary J didn't really do it for her. Even Mary J herself, she had Method Man, The Roots, Erykah Badu. They had a cosign of a guy, which made them more noticeable in hip hop. And I think and it's true, I think Nicki knows who she's talking about when she made that subtle jab of she's doing somebody a favor, which, if you ask me, because I didn't know Corey Ray was Denzel's daughter. But I digress from that situation. I think that did cause some tension, and I think that since she was very selective on who she got for the feature, I think a lot of people are kind of mad at her. I think, but we also have to recognize that if Mary J. Blige was a man, Nicki Minaj will say would have been and she's right to say that because Cameron was the host of what was it? Was it Columbia Records? Hove, Cameron, Snoop was at some point was the CFO or CEO or the A&R of Death Row. But they've changed so much between the guys that Nicki feels that she didn't get the spot, and to some belief, I think we all think Wayne or YMCMB came out of pocket to pay for a lot of Nicki's promotions that weren't, because social media wasn't rather prevalent back then, and I think that's what that is. She understands that she has a big following, but she's like, if they pay for me, why can't y'all pay for y'all's promotion when y'all are making millions? Which, granted, that's how a lot of people stay in business that way, so I understand her concept of it, but overall, we shall see. But overall, that's that whole Nicki Minaj versus female rappers discussion that was being had, and why people were outraged, but I digress.